Desculpa ao António de não lhe ter dado a palavra há pouco, mas não deu.
Não faz mal, não faz mal. Vamos arrancar então. Roberto Martinez, António Botelho aqui em direto para a TSF. Pergunto-lhe se este é o jogo mais especial da sua carreira.
Is this the most special game in your career as a coach? It's a final. You can win an international trophy, of course, but you'll be playing against Spain. Is there a split between your heart and your brain?
Eu acho que com naturalidade.
I think I see this very naturally. There's a sentimental side to it. I'm Spanish, of course, but that'll be something to tell my grandchildren in 10 or 15 years. Right now I'm focused on winning the final. I loved the attitude and the atmosphere in training yesterday. Today we'll be training again, and that's it. I want everything to go as natural and normal as possible, work properly, and prepare for a final. It's Portugal's fourth final, and this added responsibility means this will bring out the best in us. What are the odds of Portugal winning? Sometimes when Portugal plays countries that are bigger than Portugal, sometimes there are excuses for Portugal not being as competitive, but looking at this team we have, the squad we have, that people say is the best ever, do you think Spain has a better than 50% chance of winning? No, we're focused on what we can do. If we have the same type of performance as our last match, I believe we can win. I believe in our players and in what we can do. The opponent is an amazing opponent. This is a game to show resilience and personality, the same we showed against Germany, not to be focused on technical and tactical aspects. Before the semi, it was a very tough game. We needed to show that we can look Germany in the eye and do it away when they were playing at home. We were playing against a team that had amazing results playing at home. And to do that in front of their crowd after 25 years without a win, and after being 1-0 down, if we can use the same personality and resilience and the intrinsic qualities of Portuguese people, the effort, resilience, we're prepared from a technical and tactical standpoint. We need other things. There's a trend in football to rank coaches depending on how many trophies they have. And this happened when you were coaching Belgium. Now you are playing a final against Portugal. Does it hurt you that people only look at the trophies? Because that's the only way to rate coaches' work. And I'm asking you before a final. No, it makes perfect sense. We play to win. And one of the ways of looking at it are the trophies. Another way to look at national teams is the international ranking. Belgium was for 4 years in a row #1 in the world. But the fans need that. The wins, points, goals. And then reaching the final third of the field, the number of chances created, managing a group. A coach does a lot of things, and there's a lot of ways to rate a coach. But I'm very, very proud to be the third national coach to be able to prepare Portugal for a final. And that's what I'm focusing on. And I will do everything to make our fans proud and happy after the game. In the semi-final, you put three players on that were very important. In the second half, Vitinha, Nelson Semedo, and Francisco Conceição. Do you think these players can be in the starting 11 against Spain, especially Vitinha? I don't think you're assessing it correctly. I think the starting 11 had an amazing performance. They controlled the game, and they did what we wanted to do during the first hour. And then the three players that came on brought what we wanted, which was to get into the final third, to control the ball, have ball control in Germany's midfield. So I don't think your assessment was correct. We played a great game from the first to the last minute, but different. The first half we controlled, we defended well, we stopped Germany from doing what they usually do. Inside game, we defended in the box. We created superiority inside with João Neves, and when we got into the final third, we got there with Vitinha, Semedo, Chico, and this is what we've been working on. We have players with different traits. They can make a difference during the game. But the final is different. Spain is not Germany. Spain, I believe, they could be the best team in the world, but there is no such thing as a perfect team. So we need to work well and prepare this final and use the players who begin and who will finish the game.
Boa tarde, Roberto Martinez, no Mato Centeno. Imagino que tenha acompanhado parte da conferência de imprensa do Cristiano.
I imagine you saw part of Cristiano's press conference. He's a benchmark of our national team. He has defended you, and he complimented you and said that you adjusted very quickly to our national team. You sing the anthem, you speak our language, you've achieved results, and you've now reached a final. And according to Cristiano Ronaldo, it doesn't make sense to lob criticism at you. How do you rate his words? I think he wants to play tomorrow.
Não, primeiro, estou a brincar. Eu acho que o Cristiano agora podemos falar de jogador que está a jogar a sua quarta.
Well, Cristiano will now playing his fourth final for our national team, and it's amazing. I love his hunger. He's already won everything, and the day after a win, he starts from scratch again. And Rodrigo Moura, Kenda, João Neves, these players, they get into our locker room, and to be able to work with Cristiano, it's a gift, and I hope tomorrow will be a beautiful memory in their careers. About him defending me, I think our work, what we do in the locker room, we need to help players enjoy the game. We want them to make a difference. We want them to win. We want them to beat their opponents. And in 2.5 years, I've been working with this team. We've all supported each other, technical staff and players. We want our fans to rest assured that everyone is fully committed. We're all united. It's a very united locker room. All the squad likes to wear the jersey. And tomorrow we will do everything to make the Portuguese very happy. Does Portugal have a particular game pattern that allows the team to make the best use of the best traits of the players? Yes, I think so. Yes, I think working in national teams is tough. We need to find the best solutions, the best concepts. What I can tell you is that Portugal is not going to change its essence in order to win the final. That's what we believe in. We believe in our quality, our concepts. We're talking about Spain that has some of the best aspects in the world. They have players who can hold the ball, they can open spaces on the inside, they counter quickly, and it's one of the best traits of Spanish football. They play very quickly on the break. But the key to Portugal winning the game is that we need to be perfect at doing what we do best and not trying to be pragmatic or trying to change what we are or who we play or give Spain the ball, because that would be a mistake. You talked about sentimental issues, but I was there and I saw your family and friends. How are you going to look at the heavens tomorrow and see that someone is up there? Friends, I mean, whoever wins, friends will be with you. Everybody loves their national team, and my friends also support Portugal. I'm here because my father was a very big influence for me.
Boa tarde, Mr. Martinez. João Pimpim para a bola.
I doubt that anyone called the starting 11 for the match against Germany. Do you have any other surprises ready for tomorrow? And does it have anything to do with stopping Lamine Yamal, one of the most dangerous attackers in current football? You know the way I like to work. And I will only decide on the starting 11 after the final practice, before the game. I'll look at how the players are feeling. There's a lot to be assessed. There's a lot to be seen in the last training session. But I believe in every single player, and this is an advantage because there's not a starting 11. There's an idea, and I think we need to react to losing the ball. If we let Spain play on the counter, then they are the best national team in the world. But we need to do the things we do best. We've shown against Germany that we can hold the ball, we can control the game. We showed this away in front of a German crowd. And this is what we need to do. We need to show our personality. Their attacking game is exceptional. Last question in Portuguese. We're hours away from the final. How do you and the players deal with this anxiety that pops up? No, there's no anxiety. Quite the opposite. This is an opportunity. We have an opportunity to write history. We are where we wanted to be. It's our 10th game in a competition that is the most demanding format. For 10 months, 10 games, it's not just a tournament, it's a league for national teams. We are where we wanted to be. The spirit, the atmosphere is great. We have another member of our national team. Gonçalo Ramos and his wife Margarida welcome Bernardo, their new son. So now we have a new training session to get ready for the final.
Buenas, Roberto. Javier Sotillo de Babel. Justo acaba de comentar usted que
You just said that Spain is a great rival, a great opponent, but the perfect team does not exist. The level that Spain showed in the Euros was practically unreachable, but they struggled against. They conceded a lot of goals against the Netherlands and against France. Do you think that benefits Portugal, that kind of game with come and go and scoring goals? No, what I did is it wasn't a criticism against the Spanish national team. I think Spain is one of the best, I would say it's the best national team in the world in certain aspects. The important thing is that tomorrow we can use these other aspects, but that has nothing to do with Spain. That happens with everyone, with every team. The perfect team that closes perfectly, counters perfectly, that has quality outside, inside, everywhere, that is good with dead balls, etc. Everything that it doesn't exist. What we have is what we are going to play against is the champions of Europe, champions of the League of Nations. Luis de la Fuente has created almost a club spirit within the dressing room. And when we face a tough game like this, the team has the ability to be competitive. I don't see any negative aspects in the Spanish national team. I know all I can see is that what exists in football. Every team has virtues and strengths, and depending on what happens in the key moments of the game and against in front of goal, etc., they will have one meaning or a different meaning. Hi, Roberto. It's a pleasure to play in front of you. You've been for 2.5 years with your national teams, you and Luis de la Fuente. There was a lot of doubts with Luis de la Fuente at first, and you said that he turned the national team into almost a club. I don't know what you think about his work behind, sort of behind the back. How is it working? Did you ever talk to him? Did you ever have the chance to play to coach the national team? Luis de la Fuente, I'm really proud to talk about him. I really followed what he did with the under-21s. Back then, I was a sporting director for Belgium, and I was looking at what Luis de la Fuente did with the under-21s, and I could see in a tournament the kind of leadership he could instill into players and the confidence that he can instill in how he can create winning teams. It is no surprise for me to see what he's been doing. He was showing this before. And of course, then it's how demanding it is, and every national team is under the they have this demand around them to win titles. Of course, it's a more difficult team to play against now because they can stop and pause the game and be very good, and he can accelerate the pace and be really good. So they cover a lot of things about a team, what a team can do with the ball. I wanted to ask you about Lamine Yamal. I've been talking about him a lot. But have you been surprised to see a player like this who is always only 17? And if you have any plan against Lamine tomorrow? Well, it is a surprise to see such a young player have the capacity to be consistent. There are certain positions on the pitch where it's easy to be consistent, but being a winger is the most difficult position to be consistent at. Consistency normally comes with experience, knowing how to wait for certain occasions. We're talking about something unique in football. He's a stellar player. He's a player who makes the difference because of showing the consistency as a winger. As such a demanding club, as such a demanding national team, we're talking about a unique player. From us, trying to stop him, it would be a mistake that the Spanish national team is only one player. Tomorrow, we have to be very solid without the ball and be able to defend really well against the whole team, and then try and do what we do best with the ball in our feet.
¿Qué tal, Roberto? Por aquí. Óscar López para Radio Televisión Española.
Hola, Óscar.
Encantado. Y lo primero, enhorabuena por
First of all, congratulations for this final.
Has hablado en tono elogioso de Luis de la Fuente.
You have praised Luis de la Fuente and his work with the national team. I wanted to make that extensive to you and other colleagues like Luis Enrique, Guardiola, everything that Spanish football is doing with youth teams, with women's teams. We are together with you in Portugal. We're going to be co-hosting a World Cup soon. Could you say that football, Spanish football, is at the most important moment in its history? I would say Iberian football, including Portugal. Yes, Iberian football, yes. I love it because, first of all, because I would love to have a lot of time to explain what Portugal is in terms of youth teams. We're talking about a 10 million people country which has the best youth team system in Europe for such a small country, and the kind of level they reach with forming youth players. You have mentioned a number of coaches who have a name in common, which is Johan Cruyff. I think this is a beautiful moment to remember him and say thank you to him in order to enlighten us, making us understand the game in a very different way, and to make it attractive to football lovers, not only the club or the national team you support, but for all the fans. So I hope in coming years, I hope Iberian football, and with the 2030 World Cup, I hope we see years where we can grow together, and I hope Portugal to win this final tomorrow, and I hope we can always face Spain. It's a final that could be a World Cup final. Don't you think that some people did not value the great work that Portugal has been doing recently, and the number of victories achieved in the games you have played? Don't you think that Portugal has been considered the underdog, what they could play against Spain, against any team in the world? Yes, it's a good reflection. I think the format of this Nations League has been growing, and we are talking about the best national teams in Europe, without a doubt. Having these quarterfinals with such a close level, everything is so equal, and it forces you to make you win in key moments. These games are so difficult that they prepare you as a coach in order to make the team improve and to make you improve. We're talking at top level in world football when it comes to national teams. So it helps you prepare a lot with national teams. As a national coach, you don't have a lot of time to prepare with your players. So these games played at such high levels, such high competitions, etc., it helps you a lot to see how far we can get. For us, our global objective since I arrived was the 2026 World Cup, and do something that Portugal never did, which was to win a World Cup. I think we qualified, we obtained 10 victories in order to qualify for the Euros, etc. So doing something we never did before helps our group a lot in order to what our group has to try to beat if we aim to win a World Cup. And tomorrow's game is part of that process too. I want to ask you about João Palhinha, who in Bayern didn't play much, but you still count on him for the national team at all times. I'm interested to know what Palhinha brings to the national team and what Palhinha needs in order to give his best level, not only at his national team, but at his club. João Palhinha is one of those players who are rarely, you don't see him very much, but has a total influence on the game. I'm not only talking about the day of the game, but his intensity in training, his work rate in training. He's player that is rare in Portugal. He's very tactically intelligent. He can defend very close to the centre backs. He has an amazing ability to with long passes, with short passes, who can open the game very much. It's been a difficult year for him at a personal level. I've spoken to Vincent Kompany many times this year, and we both share the same opinion. It's been a very difficult year for him, but he's never lowered his guard. He's always being there to help. It's one of those players you can always trust at any particular moment, in any particular role, and that's why he's such an essential player for us. With more minutes, with less minutes, there's a lot of competition in the midfield with Portugal. It's massive, but I hope the best for João Palhinha for the next season and for this season, etc., and even at the World Cup with Vincent Kompany, etc. I want him. I hope the best for him.
Portugal has lost the first game against Denmark, and in the end made it to the final four. They conceded the first goal against Germany, but in the end won. Could we say that maybe the players like to show this will to win? Yeah, and maybe we can even say that it's good when in the beginning it's going not so good.
It's very interesting because we had our period when we qualified for the Euros. We won 10 games, and we never had a moment where we had to get back into the scoreline. All the games where we scored the first goal and we win the game. And we were always worried, saying what's going to happen the day that we concede a goal and we have to get back into the scoreline. And I kept asking the players, we need to show that resilience. We need to show what will happen when it gets wrong. And probably now they believe that too much. They're quite happy to get into a difficult position to react and just maybe come back into the game. Maybe the message now is going to be different. It's going to be, let's go back to the old days and let's make it a lot easier and a bit happier. But I think a winning team needs to be resilient, and a winning team needs to be facing those difficult moments during games. And the difficult moments could be a goal conceded, a bad decision by the referee, a missed opportunity of an open goal. And what I loved, like in Germany, is that we had the body language, the support that we show for each other in those moments allowed us to win the game. And I think that's essential, because individual quality can win, but I think you need all the other aspects that I spoke to be a winning team.
Mr. Martinez, you spoke about the Iberian football. Do you see any differences between how football is taught in Portugal and how it is taught in Spain?
Yeah, I think how long we got, Chico? I don't think we got long enough to go into those sort of conversations, but it is different and it's very similar at the same time. Let me tell you just quickly, I think the Spanish player and the Portuguese player, they share something. That is that they love tactical information, but they love to be competitive. So it's not one or the other. They love both. And that's difficult to find in a dressing room. Normally you have the player that is the creative, the one that has got intuition, the one that he wants tactical information, and then you got the competitive one. I think in the Iberian footballer, what we have is a mixture. The player gets growing up with a lot of information, but he wants to be competitive and he needs to win in order to survive, to become a professional footballer. I think the process is very demanding. So those are the similarities. Then you're talking about in Spain, is a bigger country, there are different styles, the north is not the same than the south, probably different schools, different train of thoughts. In Portugal, similar, the north and the south is different, but it's a closer country. I think the generations of players work together with the national team. So there are many, many aspects that they are very different. But the similarity is that the type of player combines the two big aspects of a player.
Última pregunta, last question here.
Hola Roberto, buenos días. Miguel Ángel Lara de Marca. Llevamos ya semanas hablando del Balón de Oro, de Lamine Yamal y Dembélé.
About the Golden Ball, Lamine Yamal, Dembélé. Would it be equally fair to talk about Vitinha or Fabian Ruiz? Doubtless, and I will tell you why. I always think individual prizes are a bit unfair, because in football, well, football is a collective sport. It's a group sport, and the winner the winning team should have the golden vote within its team. So when you see Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz have done with PSG, I think they should be considered for the golden ball. But it's always a subjective, there is always a subjective aspect, because it's your opinion, what you like in football, what you appreciate in football, etc. So I think individual prizes within the context of football are a little bit difficult to describe. For me, that I have to work, the opportunity to work with Vitinha, I appreciate what he is as a footballer, and I think he's an outstanding player. It's a little bit like what we were saying, he's this kind of unique players who are very difficult to find. If he doesn't win it now, he'll have chances to win it in his career.
15 minutes of the training session, 5:30 in the FC Bayern campus, and for me it's cost. Muito obrigado a todos. Obrigado.
Thank you very much. We'll be back at 17:45 with Spain's media duties. Regresamos a las 17:45 con la red de prensa España. Muchas gracias.